Dog or cat owners, who's worse to deal with?
Cat owners.
Is it by a mile?
A mile. Like more than a mile.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show. Hey there. Who knows what time it is? You know, we used to release these every week, 6 a.m. West Coast time sharp. Now we're experimenting. Maybe we should release them later in the day when traffic is a little more lively. So I don't know what time it is. But what I do know, here at Tosh Show, it's a special day. Eddie, do you know what today is?
Not sure what today is.
It's our birthday.
What?
No. Happy birthday, Tosh Show.
All right. Happy
Tosh
birthday,
Show
everybody.
is 1 year old. Can you believe it?
I can't.
In 1 year, we have turned this little tiny podcast into this.
Man, it was what a ride.
Wow.
What a ride. So we're 1 year old. Sound the trumpets. Oh my goodness. No, I want our artificial ones. I know we're in birthday mode, but I have something else. This is crazy. I was surfing the other day with Pierre. You know Pierre, the guy that eats hot dogs and fucking random food. Anyway, my French buddy. We're surfing up north a bit on the PCH, and my truck is just parked on the side of the road. We're going into the water, and he goes, "Oh, hey, I need to lock this up." And I'm like, "Yeah, you don't need to lock it up. Nobody steals anything anymore. It's 2024. People stop stealing. Just throw it in the back of the truck." He goes, "No." So I go and unlock my truck for him, and he throws whatever he wanted not to get stolen. Anyway, his story is stupid. We come out of the water from surfing, and my belt, my jeans, and my used boxer shorts were stolen from the back of my truck. And this isn't a place where there's parking. There's no buildings around. This is like the PCH, like where it's empty. So somebody came by, went in the back of my truck, took my jeans, belt, and underwear, left my cashmere sweater, left my shoes, left his clothes. All of his clothes were in there. Didn't touch them, but just some unhoused man got a pair of rag and bone jeans, Ted Baker belt, James Purse boxers. I mean, all in all, I guarantee that's over $1,000. Jerk.
Pretty good haul.
Hell of a haul. Anyway, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. I'm gonna get you some boxers.
Holy cow. I can't believe we've done this for 1 year. What's been your favorite episode, Eddie?
I like the astronaut, Steve Swanson.
Astronaut. That was a good one. That guy gave me a little pee bag from space.
Yeah.
From the Apollo mission. I still have that. I use it every day.
Who's your favorite guest?
My favorite guest?
Yeah.
Whatever one's not viewed the most. That was my favorite. Come on, guys, watch that one. I like all of them. They're like children to me. You know, except for the one that was my child. That one's actually my kid. It's been a good year, and I was happy to do the show. This is our last episode. No, I'm kidding. We'll probably do the show for another 20 years. You think we'll be here for another 20?
Oh, absolutely.
Eddie, if you're here, I'm here.
Let me ask you this.
What's that?
What have you learned by doing this show? You've never really hosted a show where you're just interviewing people constantly. What have you learned?
I learned that when you're interviewing somebody, you gotta stay awake.
It's pretty good. Okay.
If you nod off during an interview, that lets them know that you're not very interested in what they have to say.
It's a good sign.
So the whole time, I'm just, when they're talking, I'm just like, don't fall asleep. By the way, this birthday, you know, I know we didn't get any cake or anything, but we did get some hardware. You see this? YouTube.
Oh, man.
Sent us this. I don't know what it is. It's an award for passing 100,000 subscribers 11 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want this. I don't like awards. So I will give this award. It says presented to Tosh Show. I'll give that to whoever makes the most comments on this video. And not just, they have to be funny comments, but not just one. I want like 150,000. I want 150,000. No.
Wow.
Just the most comments that are enjoyable for me to read. I don't know what I'm asking for exactly.
We'll figure it out.
Eddie.
Yep.
Eddie, do you remember our first guest?
I do.
It was Finky, a gay doctor. Now, a year later, this show has evolved. Today's guest is a gay doctor. Enjoy. Tosh Show. My guest today is a goddamn hero. He is a gay man who has saved countless pussies and bitches. His patients have names like Cinnamon, Stardust, and Bigsby, and they usually come to him when their owners have allowed them to limp around for a couple weeks in hopes it would magically go away. Please welcome veterinarian Dr. Adam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Good.
First of all, thank you for being here. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes. Absolutely.
What do you mean, absolutely?
I believe in ghosts.
What about pet ghosts?
Of course.
Oh, so everything has a spirit?
Everything has a spirit if the spirit has a reason to stay around.
Oh, so there's conditions.
Sure.
If you don't have unfinished business, then you're just gone?
Yeah, you go off, do whatever else you do. But if you have unfinished business or there's another lesson to learn, you stay around.
Until you learn it?
Sure.
Horse shit. I gotta learn stuff after I die? There's no chance I die and I've finished everything that I needed to do.
That's why you get more chances.
Well, that's really convenient.
Yeah.
You were born and raised in L.A., Brentwood specifically. Give our audience a better understanding of geography. How close was your childhood home to O.J. Simpson?
So I went to school at Brentwood High. I was actually raised in Cheviot Hills, but the school was about a mile and a half from O.J.'s house.
Do you remember that night as a kid?
I wasn't a kid. I was
in the 90s, but you were
I was home
20?
from college.
Okay.
So I was home. I was actually eating at the Islands that used to be on Pico and Veteran.
What kind of burger you go with?
Big wave with cheese, no question.
Okay.
And we were watching the low-speed car race on the television, so they all had TVs. So I remember that day very well.
You still like a burger?
I do. Actually, we just took my mom to Islands for her birthday as like a nostalgic celebration because she used to take us, and I got the same thing.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Have you always loved animals?
Yes.
How many pets did you have growing up?
The first pet was some goldfish, but then a bird, and then we got a dog when I was 9, maybe.
What kind of bird did you have?
A little cockatiel.
I'm not a bird fan. I love them in the wild.
Yeah, I'm not really a bird fan either. The birds we deal with as veterinarians are sick and mean. Not really a bird fan.
I wanted a pelican for a long time, but PETA told me, they said, knock it off, Daniel. You can't have it.
Pelican would be rough.
Oh, but it's such a neat animal. I just like that they hang out on piers, talk to old fishermen all day long. Then they fly, they swim.
So you want like a wild pelican friend.
Yes.
Not a pelican in the house.
I basically want a childhood story.
Okay, I like that.
Come to life.
Yes.
When did you come out?
When I was 18, Christmas break, freshman year of college.
How'd your parents handle it?
Great.
Did they know?
My mom knew.
Did she really, or did she just say, because moms always say, I knew, and it's like, you didn't fucking know shit, lady.
2 of her very close friends were a gay couple, and she had mentioned to them that she thought I was gay, and that year, I think, we had Thanksgiving, and they came to Thanksgiving dinner, and they didn't confirm or deny to her, so she assumed since they didn't say anything, they didn't want to tell her, so she...
Did they know?
Yeah.
Or did you let them know?
No.
Yeah, it's not like they have special powers to know.
They do.
No, they don't. I had a best friend come out like when he was like 37 to me. I was like known my whole life, never, just had buried it. And I was so mad at myself. I'm like, how in the world did you pull this off? You went to school at Stanford. Again, Stanford. We've had 5 people now on this show that went to Stanford. Wow. This is basically an intellectual podcast that dabbles in comedy.
That's amazing.
Pete's wife does a bit, always makes me laugh. Wherever I say a college, I go, hey, sing their fight song. And then she just starts singing it, and it makes me laugh. And she doesn't know anything about sports. So let's see if she'll do it on the fly. Let's see if I can get Sam to do this.
Hello.
Hey, sing the Stanford fight song.
Go, Stanford. Yes, win the game. Go, Stanford. It's going to be a great day.
That's nice. All right, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
All right, I got the fight song.
You actually know the fights? Let's hear the real one.
It's all right now, baby. It's that song by Free.
They just stole a song?
Totally.
You can't do that for your fight song. A lot of my viewers think I'm out of touch. Talk about being on the polo team at Stanford.
So it sounds a lot more glorious than it was.
So elitist.
Yeah. So I grew up riding horses, and then I wanted to ride some horses at Stanford. Went out to meet the equestrian team people, and they felt very elitist to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really mesh with them. I was playing volleyball with like pickup volleyball at night, and my buddy said, "Oh, you should come out for the polo team." I was like, "Sure." So I went out, and it was all very chill, relaxed people. We had tons of horses, 18 or 20 horses to kind of be in charge of. It's not a varsity sport. So it was not as glorious and elitist as you think, but we did get to play polo and rub elbows with some pretty fancy people.
Didn't you start by specializing on horses?
Yeah, I entered vet school thinking I wanted to be an equine veterinarian, a horse vet.
But then you realize horse people are awful and horses are boring?
I don't want to say horse people are awful.
Okay.
Some horse people can be difficult to work with, and horses can kill you pretty quick if they want. And there's a lot of on-call in the middle of the night, often in mud, and it's not always a very glorious profession. And I realized quickly that I would rather work indoors on dogs and cats and make enough money to own a horse if I wanted one.
Do you own a horse?
Not anymore.
Do you force people to call you doctor?
I introduce myself as doctor to clients.
Okay.
If I'm not treating your pet, please don't call me doctor.
Okay.
Because my name is Adam.
Eddie back there on his Sky Miles card just put doctor in front of. And so whenever they like his flight's about, they always like Dr. Gossling. And he just thinks he's cool as shit for that. And I'm like, that is horse. Anyway, it's a stolen valor is my issue with it.
That's fine.
How come vets hire such alt kids to work in their practice?
I think alt kids migrate toward vet med.
The amount of piercings I see.
Piercings, tattoos, queer identity.
They're just good.
Great. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I always felt like I was like, oh, this is the hotbed. How many dogs do you think you've saved?
That's a great question.
That without you doing what you did
would have died, not just been sore.
That's probably a better question.
Okay, so maybe half, 5,000.
Oh, Jesus. Your specialty is what is it?
Surgery.
But which surgery?
So I'll do all surgeries.
What was your big one that I'm
TPLO?
TPLO.
Yeah, it fixes the equivalent of the ACL in people. It's
okay.
CCL in dogs, but same structure. Most common injury in dogs, in dog knees. So very common surgery, and they limp. No one likes to see their dog limping, and the surgery does a great job of making them not limp.
Gun to your head.
Yeah.
We take you right now. We put you on an NBA team as the doctor.
Yeah.
Could you repair some ACLs?
The way people are done, no.
You couldn't do it?
Couldn't. It would be messy. So in dogs, we don't replace the ACL, and in people, that's the mainstay. So I don't do ACL replacement. It's a completely different surgery, changing the biomechanics. But gun to my head, broken leg, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can use you.
Yeah, I'd be great in a zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. Are you scared of any animals?
Yeah, I mean, bears.
You ever worked on a bear?
Yes, but it was asleep.
By
the time I met it. But in the wild, I've got a place in Mammoth, so I'm up there a lot skiing and stuff. And so, you don't want to run into a bear.
I had a bear come in my garage almost this summer.
Really?
In Tahoe.
I mean,
couldn't have been less worried about him. I was just like, okay. First of all, his ear was tagged. I'm like, the city knows what this bear does.
I'm not scared of bears in general. I'm scared of running into a bear unexpectedly. And then bats for some reason.
I don't like a bat.
Yeah.
I don't trust their navigation system.
They're unpredictable.
Too much erratic darting around.
Agreed.
I had a bat living in my umbrella recently at my house. Like one of
a table umbrella?
It was like by a pool,
sure.
Like next to a few chairs. But every time I pulled it up, he'd fly out. And I'm like, oh no, I have to get rid of this.
Yeah.
And I did.
Good.
I'm not proud of what I did.
Oh, you didn't just relocate him?
I felt like he kept coming back.
Yeah.
I didn't give it a shot.
Okay.
I got rid of him.
Fair. I understand.
I'm not my proudest moment.
It's okay. They are one of the animals that can be a source of rabies in California. So it's better to get rid
I
of
think he had rabies.
them. For sure.
You ever perform surgery on big cats?
Yes.
Is a lion the same as a house cat?
Internally, yes. So the stuff is just bigger. At one of the hospitals I worked at, we worked with a big cat rescue out in Santa Clarita or wherever it is.
I know.
So anytime they have issues with their animals, they'd bring them to us. They're great. They're huge. I mean, their paws are like this big. And
I'm still allergic to big cats. I think that's funny.
Really?
It's the same as a house cat. I sneeze just as much.
Yeah, but yes, I have plenty of surgeries on big cats.
Do you ever do any funny photos with them while they're under?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got photos with them.
It's so crazy how big they are.
I neutered a lion once.
The balls were huge?
Yeah.
Did you at any point say, who's the king of the jungle now?
I did not.
Did you like the movie Ace Ventura when it came out?
Yeah. I'm a Jim Carrey fan.
He was an animal doctor, right?
Yeah.
But the most transphobic movie in the history of movies.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of those don't hold up.
No, but that one is like off the charts. Imagine that being pitched in a room today. And that's why I always laugh when people are like, oh, things used to be so much better. I'm like, for who, you monster?
That's correct.
In your opinion, as a gay man, is that community more or less likely to be faithful?
You mean in a
Monogamous.
relationship? So monogamous and faithful, I think, are different.
Yes, they are. Let's go with monogamous.
Less likely.
You believe that? Okay.
I do.
How about the vet community? Is it Grey's Anatomy in the animal hospital where everybody's banging each other?
Yes. There's no question. The TV shows about vet hospitals would be way better.
Okay, this is a serious question.
Yeah.
Should we circumcise our dogs?
No, they don't have foreskin.
They don't?
No.
I don't think I knew that they didn't have foreskin. Did you guys know that?
No.
You didn't know that, right?
No.
It would be funny in theory to be like, no, I wanted my dog's penis to look like my penis. The real question is this. Neuter.
Yes.
6 months or 1 year?
Yeah, that's a huge topic of debate.
Mm-hmm.
The research coming out, especially in bigger dogs, is let them grow a little bit longer
Okay.
for bone health.
I waited 1.5 years. Nah, I waited 1 year and 2 months.
I mean, if you're a responsible dog owner and not letting them get out and impregnate dogs inappropriately,
I am.
and they are not developing behaviors that you don't like,
Yeah, he wasn't jizzing all over the house.
right? Then it's fine. Then it doesn't matter.
What about a spaying a dog? Do you recommend before or after the first period?
So when I went to vet school, it was always recommended before the first heat to decrease the chance of mammary cancer later. That may or may not be getting disproven, but I still recommend before the first
So that's
heat.
around 6 months?
6 months, yeah.
How long is that heat? Isn't it like a month long?
No, 5 to 7 days usually.
Oh, I feel like I've seen a diaper on a dog way longer than that. Maybe she just had a heavy flow. Your favorite surgery to perform as a vet is a vulvoplasty in female dogs.
Yeah.
Now, do you think you've earned these bitches' trust more because you're a gay man? And can you explain vulvoplasty procedure, since I still have no idea how women work?
Right. So we call it an episiotomy, same prefix like episiotomy. Some female dogs have extra tissue that sort of covers their vulva opening, and so they can get retention of urine and moisture and bacteria, and so they get recurrent urinary tract infections, which can be very uncomfortable and lots of return trips to the vet and
Can turn into a kidney infection at some point?
It can if it's left untreated. So the surgery is to remove that extra flap and sort of expose the vulva better, more naturally. And the reason I like the surgery is it's pretty easy to do, and it really changes the dog's life. They are not painful anymore. They're not going to the vet all the time. They're not having these UTIs and having to urinate all the time. And you do the surgery, and after the 2-week recheck, the owner says, my dog is so much happier. And that's what makes me feel so good about it, is it really changes the quality of life for the dog.
You can diagnose this pretty quickly?
You can just look and see. Yeah.
What do I got to look for?
Just looks like there's extra tissue over the back.
All right.
I mean, if Carl was a girl, we could show you, but he's not.
Well.
But if you want to look for his foreskin, we can.
Can the owners keep the testicles?
No.
Okay.
But a lot of our employees sometimes want to keep the testicles.
Why do they want to?
I have no idea.
Oh, man. That's a problem. The alt kids hang out with the witch kids. The witch kids need balls for their brew.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sometimes they say they're going to dry them and make earrings out of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you ever do that the cosmetic surgery where you put fake testicles in?
I've never put them in. They're called nudicles. Some people like the look of balls.
Oh, yeah. Some people
I don't know
love
why.
balls. I like those guys that have those truck nuts on the back of
their
their That's
truck?
always nice.
Right.
Is it possible to switch, to get your testicle to jump to the other sack?
Like the other side?
Yeah.
No, they're divided.
Because as a child, I used to just spend so much time.
Trying to get it over there?
Sure, why not see if you could swap them?
Just twist the whole thing around.
Well, yeah, you can do that.
Right.
And then everybody always had, did you guys have a friend in high school or college that you always you heard that he only had one testicle?
Yeah, no, I lived next to someone who had one
You
testicle.
lived next to
And I lived next to someone who had 3 balls.
You lived next to somebody that had 3 testicles,
Yeah,
John.
we called him tripod.
You called him tripod?
Yeah.
Wow.
That seems weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
You don't sit on your balls. I mean, you try not to. All right, this is going off the rails. People that own lizards or snakes or mice,
Yep.
are they wasting the clinic's time?
No, not at all. Small pets, hamsters, gerbils, reptiles, that's what we call exotics.
Mhm.
And they usually go to vets who focus on exotics. By the time those things are sick, they're almost always going to die.
Traditionally, do vets get paid well?
General practitioners don't get paid as well as the public thinks. They are probably coming out of school making $75,000 to $80,000 a year,
Mhm.
which in Los Angeles to own a house is pretty tough.
Mhm.
Specialists are doing better. We do a lot more schooling and a lot more training and have specialized equipment and skills. So I would say most specialists make a pretty decent living.
And then the number one complaint, I'm just guessing here, the number one complaint from your customers is this guy's too expensive.
Yep. 100%.
And then the real thing is that the same stuff that you use or equipment is the same stuff
Yeah.
that hospitals pay
Exactly.
for humans.
Right.
So it costs a fortune.
Yeah, so we're using all the same equipment, same drugs, same supplies, same facilities. We obviously don't have health insurance in the same way. Pet insurance is almost all reimbursement insurance, but the big insurance companies negotiate with hospitals, we'll pay 18% or whatever. So the prices are increased dramatically so that the doctors and hospitals still make money from the insurance companies, whereas we just kind of charge what our costs are.
Mm-hmm.
So an MRI, for example, will be around $2,000 or $2,200 for us. Human MRI, $12,000, $15,000. So, but you don't see any of that because insurance pays for it.
Should people get pet insurance?
Yes,
They should.
I do. I used to never say yes.
And now you say it definitively.
Yes. 6 years ago, if you could put aside $3,500 to $5,000, you could cover an emergency. Now it's probably $10,000 to $15,000, and that's a lot for most people. And so pet insurance takes that pressure off. And there are some pet insurances that are very good and will pay.
Now, in 2017, you and 3 other friends opened a practice focused on 10 different specialties. By 2020, it was doing around $30 million a year. You sold it in 2020.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into specifics, but answer this. Do you ever have to work another day in your life?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Probably not.
Atta boy.
I would have to change my lifestyle.
Do you read the reviews when people go on?
I've never read reviews.
Okay.
I don't like Yelp. I think it's a small business killer. I think it's terrible service.
Okay. Fuck Yelp. Yelp, are you a sponsor of this show? Because I will flip on him in a second. Here's a problem I see with your world
Okay.
as a vet. You have to be a version of On, and it gets grueling, and I just feel bad.
I don't tell people I'm a vet. I've met many veterinarians who say they do other jobs until you know them. One woman I met said she sold insurance, and then 15 minutes into our conversation, when she found out I was a vet, she said, "Oh, I'm actually a vet too, but I don't ever tell people because I don't want to hear the questions."
But when friends know that you're a vet, that's when I think it's a lot.
Yeah. So my friends know they can ask me whatever they want, and I get family from coming out of the woodwork. This question,
it's
that
the community.
question.
Those are the people that you can't. That is
But
tough.
as a surgeon, sometimes it's very easy because I can say I don't know that. I'm lying, but I can say that.
The other day, my wife leaves this farm, the farmer's market. When you go to the farmer's market, you're supposed to come home with flowers, vegetables, and maybe some bread. That would be nice.
Sure, yeah. Fresh baked bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what my wife comes home with from the farmer's market. Yeah, here. I'll be right back.
Okay. Aw.
My wife
It's amazing.
comes home with a pig.
That's great.
And she's like, huh? Her and her cousin, they're like, we're gonna co-own the pig. And she lives right around the corner. I'm like, I know what this means. This means that now I own a pig for 15 years-ish.
Right?
That I've got to build on my property.
A pig
A
place.
pen, everything.
Right.
And I'm just like, what? And they're so much smarter. And we're not one of these people. My wife's not an idiot, although she behaves like one. I know like it's 7.5 pounds now.
Right.
She said that most likely it'll be under 50. Both of the parents are like 40, 45. And I go, did she? The person that was trying to get rid of the pig?
Right. It might be bigger, but it's really cute right now.
And I'm okay if it gets to be 200 pounds. But if it does, I'm forcing her to sleep with it.
Okay.
Hey, baby. What do I need to know? First of all, so now I have a pig for the rest of my life.
Right. You read up on pigs. I don't know anything about pigs.
You don't know anything about pigs?
No, I'm a dog and cat vet.
Do you want to know what his name is?
What is his name?
Potato.
That's a great name.
Look,
It's better than bacon.
It looks like he has underwear on. He's got a little.
He's got little pants.
Hi, buddy. It's okay. He's a little skittish, and I don't want to. I don't want to make him scared, and then people yell at me for like, "What are you? You're toward." His
No, he's
tail
super
doesn't
cute.
curl. You want to snort for him?
He's
Carl, come
he's
here,
very
Carl.
cute.
Can you, as a vet, prove to my listeners that Carl is not a person in a dog suit? Because everyone thinks that he's like just not a real dog.
No, he's definitely a dog. Professional opinion. Carl's a dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Weight. I like to always have my dogs.
I'm feeling it
lean.
right now. He feels great.
Right. I don't have
Perfect.
big dogs.
No, you can feel his.
Okay.
You can feel his ribs easily, but
I got you.
there's some fat right over him. He'll live longer if he
Right?
stays lean.
You want the dogs to be lean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
he looks big because he's got
But
hair.
he's just
but-
furry. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he feels great.
If you had to guess, how many animals have you put down in your career?
Ooh, I don't want to guess that. 300.
Mm-hmm. You remember Randall?
Of course. How could I forget Randall?
R.I.P. buddy. Dylan's dog.
I did surgery on Randall.
And then you put him down the next day?
No.
By the way, it's a weird thing for a vet to see you're at such a vulnerable spot. And it's like, they're just like, hey, buddy, I just got to do my gig here. It's just, I feel so bad. And then they bring somebody with them too. By the way, he took a towel with me and never gave it back. And it was a good towel. I mean, I felt like an asshole to be like, hey, can I keep the towel? But he was like, oh, there's my boy is gone. And I'm just sobbing like a crazy person. It's just rough.
It is the worst day.
It's the worst day by a mile.
Yeah.
This is what the rule I go by. I always have pets and dogs. If they're not going to the bathroom on their own outside anymore and stop eating and drinking, I'll give you 1 to 2 days before you snap out of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Before we have to have the talk.
It really depends on, is there an acute disease that you can fix? Or is this just, I'm old and this is what my life is now? I usually tell people when they're thinking about it, pick the 10 things your pet loves the most. And when they stop doing 5 of them, start thinking about it. Because you don't want to wait till the worst day.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to make it to the point where, I should have done this a week ago.
And that's what you need. You need a vet that will just say, because in LA, you've got people that will do everything to preserve life.
You have no idea.
I'm right. I don't, but
You do.
I can wrap my head around it.
Right.
And I've always had, my bad, like, get a second opinion, but don't do anything. It's kind of, it's almost what you need to hear. Like, it's the kid's riddled in cancer. Like, just knock it off.
Yeah. This is a talk that you learn to have as a veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things to look at. You can give people the option of, this is what we can do. This is how much longer it may buy you and how much it will cost. And you can guide people appropriately. I've had people who will mortgage their house for the hopes of 1 more week with their dog. And I tell them this is a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
And time to let your dog go. And I've had people who have infinite money, which you get a lot around LA, who's like, yeah, nah, he's had a good life. It's fine. And I'm like, oh, all right. I might have gone a little further, but I never question people once they've made the decision. I feel like it's a very personal decision, and I don't want to interfere with it.
Okay, but to get extremely heavy, are we on the same page with right to die for humans?
Absolutely.
That, like, what are we doing in this country?
I have no idea.
Knock it off.
Right. I mean, I see it routinely in my job, and it's such a selfless gift and blessing, and such a way to go respectfully.
And when you see what these people are doing now, like when they like travel to Oregon or Maine or any of these states that allow it, I don't know if Maine's one of them, don't hold me on that. You have to like live there for 60 days before, it's like, just let people go.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a disease that is going to make you just get worse from where you are, and you still have the wherewithal to say, I don't want to, I can't see anything wrong with that.
But I also don't understand why they don't just like, you know what, live in a place where if they don't have the means and I feel like I could cook up a concoction pretty easily.
You don't even have to cook it up. The stuff exists.
Well, no, I
it's great stuff.
All right, let's put the recipe up on the bottom of the screen right now. By the way, you can give Benadryl to a dog. Is there animal medicine that we can take?
Tons.
Okay.
Most of those safety studies are done on dogs, so we know what's going to work for dogs. But they take a lot of the same medications we do. Obviously, there's the abuse concern ones. They take Xanax, they take Prozac, they take painkillers, you know.
You ever worry about some of those alt kids dipping into your stash?
Everything's locked up and computer controlled. But there are some owners who ask for refills more often than we think is necessary.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does flea medicine and heartworm and tick medicine only work for 1 month?
The way many flea and tick medications work without hurting the animal inhibit certain functions that insects have that dogs don't. So it only lasts a certain amount of time. Some now last 6 months. There's some heartworm that are 6 months, some flea and tick that are 3 months. They're trying to make it easier for the owners to administer for compliance, but they don't last forever.
Okay, I do trifexas. Now, tell me, I already know that you probably have to answer it the right way, but...
Okay. You just be surprised, because I don't know a lot about this.
Well, you get it for a weight range.
Yep.
And let's just say that the weight range that my dog falls in is in the 40 to 60 pound range. Okay, but I also have a 10-pound dog at home.
Yeah.
So am I going to buy 2 different ones? No, I never have. I just buy the 40, 60. I shave off a little for her and just give her that part. Because he's only 40 pounds. He's at the bottom end. And I figure I'll just give you a tenth of that tablet and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work perfectly.
I'm saving tons of money.
100%.
I can't. It's the same price no matter what weight you get.
Yes.
What's the easiest dog to work on?
A pit bull, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're pretty tolerant and usually very nice.
I mean, until they're not, which is always the scary part. My brother only has pit bulls.
I only have pit bulls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than me because he rescues a pit bull, but I think I'm better than him because I donate way more to different shelters and things like that.
You're both great.
I mean, yeah, but I think if you were to size it up, who's going to get into heaven?
I'm gonna go with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What he's saving one dog, I'm saving thousands.
That's right.
What do you think of zoos? I don't bring my children to zoos because I've had this hard line on zoos for so long.
Yep.
Tell me I'm wrong and I can be a good dad.
I think zoos serve a very important purpose, introducing kids to animals, letting them see them so that they can be advocates for them and they're not just these imaginary things that they've talked about but never seen, but good zoos, right? So you want zoos that don't cater to the public, that they cater to the animal.
Santa Barbara Zoo.
I've never been to Santa Barbara Zoo. LA Zoo, doing great. They changed a lot. They've made their enclosures much larger. They have the animals on rotation, so they don't have to be out all the time.
Where is the LA Zoo located?
Right near Griffith Park.
Am I going?
Santa Barbara Zoo might be great.
Might be, but I'm not going until I get your okay.
All right, I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Where are you at on mini cows?
Anytime you breed for certain characteristics, you sacrifice natural characteristics. They're probably sweet. Cows are not intelligent animals.
Is that why they spell things wrong on those Chick-fil-A commercials?
Exactly. You'd think they'd learn by now. I mean, they've had so many years of practice.
Where are you at on Chick-fil-A? You boycott it?
100%.
For life?
for life.
It's such a good chicken sandwich. That's
Listen,
the problem.
listen, the
wanna
thing is-
I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I'm there with you in
I will
spirit.
not order it. I will not go there and buy it. But someone brought over the Chick-fil-A sauce to my house once, the creamy one.
Uh-huh.
It's delicious. But I won't buy it.
Fair enough. How gross is expressing anal glands? Because it honestly sounds like the worst thing ever.
It's exceptionally disgusting.
What do you actually do?
You stick your finger in the butt, and then use your thumb to squeeze the gland between your finger and your thumb. They live sort of in the muscles of the anus, and squeeze gently so that the material inside it kind of gets squished out, ideally into a paper towel or tissue with a glove on. The problem is sometimes it squirts aggressively and can get places that you don't want it, and smells terrible. And if
it's just
gets
horrible
on you, the smell is there for the day. You can't wash it off.
How often do you need to do this?
I never do this.
How often does a dog need to have it?
That's a great question. Most dogs, as they poop, it expresses the anal glands normally. So they shouldn't have stuff in there all the time. You know, some people have that done once a week for their dogs.
Once a week?
Yeah, but if that happens at my hospital, I ask my technicians to do that. That is not something I do.
Can I do it at home? Can I learn how to do it?
I know a lot of people who do it at home.
Oh my goodness. Carl, got a new game. If he doesn't need it, it's probably not necessary to put my fingers in his butt.
That's correct.
But legally, I'm allowed to.
You can do whatever you want to your own dog, I think, as long as you're not doing harm. You can't you can't do activity as a veterinarian. So you can't sell yourself as a veterinarian if you are not a veterinarian. You probably can't do surgery on your own dog because that's doing harm and you can't do it safely. But you can groom your own dog. You don't have to be a groomer. You can express anal glands, brush teeth.
I don't even do the teeth. I just pay the money.
I've never brushed my dog's teeth.
I have them professionally brushed once every, 3 months.
Okay.
My old dog just has one tooth left. We left one tooth in so that her tongue doesn't fall out.
I think it's kind of cute when their tongue falls out.
There's nothing cute about her at this age.
Oh.
They keep telling me that she's going to keep living, and I'm like,
what kind of dog is it?
She's a Havanese. She's 14.
Okay.
I would say the past 2 years, full dementia.
I love Havanese.
I do too.
They were one of the breeds I used to recommend people get.
My favorite Havanese that I ever had, I used to do a show, and he was on there all the time. And when he died, where are you at on people cloning their dogs?
I think it's weird.
Okay, sure. But aside from that,
I think it's bad.
You think it's bad?
Yeah, I mean,
you can't create the same dog,
it won't
right?
be the
because
same dog.
It has to have the exact same experiences. But if it did have the exact same experiences, would it be the same dog?
I don't know. The issue that I usually have is we see people who are in some sort of trauma state, their dog is dying of something terrible, and then they want to clone it. I'm like, your dog has cancer. You want to make a new dog that has the same genetics? So you're going to create cancer again. Like, this is not a smart idea.
Who did it? Who's the famous woman who did it a bunch of times?
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand did it a bunch.
I'm not going to say anything bad about Barbara Streisand.
You can't say anything bad about Barbara. You get kicked out of the
That's
community.
right.
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't have my dog cloned.
Okay.
But I worked on a TV show where he was always on camera. And so occasionally I would have to have a stand-in for him when he wasn't around. So I had this company in China make me like fake versions of my old dog. Now, the problem is I still have them and I refuse to get rid of them.
Okay.
But it literally is.
Oh.
People that see this like, oh my goodness, that's your old Castro. It's just, and if it's in my house, like I'll just be like, my dog's back.
Like a double take.
Yeah,
that's actually really good.
I can't get rid of it yet.
I wouldn't.
I'm not getting rid of it yet, but I keep it in a box under my table.
Okay.
I always give people that are on my show gifts, but it's just stuff that I don't want at my house, okay?
Great. So it's going to be stuff I don't want at my house.
Correct.
Great. But it'll have emotional value for me.
This, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to return. I never did.
Yeah, great.
You give that to your next customer for free instead of gouging them $80. By the way, the soft one is so much nicer, the Velcro, than the hard plastic one that jabs them so hard into the neck.
Yeah, I mean, a soft one like this that won't bend is fine. The problem is when people get the soft ones that bend and then the dog can chew at the incision that I just spend so much time making pretty and tear it apart.
But if your dog doesn't lick the incision at all, you don't need it at all, correct?
Wow, that is not a question to ask a surgeon.
I mean, because I've had a dog that like wasn't going to lick it. I'm like, well, why am I putting this on you? You're not going for it at all.
That's great.
No, okay. I hear what you're doing. Get that off my desk, please.
Okay.
Do you play games at your cabin?
Yeah.
Do you play Monopoly Deal?
Yeah, Yeah.
Do you know the game Monopoly Deal?
Yeah.
Is
it different than the Monopoly?
It's
other
not the
card
board game.
No, but it's the same card. Yeah.
Yes. You have it?
I don't have it. Friends
Okay.
always bring it.
Okay. This is my old deck. I have a new deck at my house.
Thank you so much.
It's the best game in the world. Put this in your cabin.
Okay.
I also got you a cabin book. This a really good dog. It's a good photo. I don't know how many coffee table books you're supposed to own, but my wife is coffee table books are basically art for people that can't afford real art, is what I'm learning. Because we just have so many of them.
Right.
And I'm like, so anyway, I just took one today. I was like, oh, here's one that's about dog. Put this in your cabin, and we'll see if my wife ever knows that one book out of 800 disappeared. And you know what else? The thing is, I don't look at them, because when I do look at them, you break the spine, and then now it's not a pretty coffee table book anymore.
Right. Now it's a book.
Get that off my desk.
Get that off the desk.
I bought this one time thinking a sound thing would be a good thing, a training mechanism for the dog.
Yeah.
But what I realized was I'm torturing the other pets in the house.
Everyone gets tortured.
Right. So
Right.
I'm like, I can't have this fucking thing. I'm just trying to tell Carl to shut up for 1 second.
No, you need the ones that have like a vibrating collar.
Right. I got that one.
Right.
This one has electric and vibrating. I've turned this thing up to 20 where I think it would fry a chicken, and Carl just thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Just like, just keeps barking at it. So I'm like, I don't want that anymore.
Are you giving all these torture devices to me?
Yeah, well, this I don't know. Maybe you hand that to somebody.
You just told me that was a multiple animal torture device.
I get it. You know how to responsibly re-gift something. Okay. Look, I even have the paperwork still.
Fantastic. Can I warranty it?
Just get rid of it, please. Those are all the gifts that I brought.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna be honest for a second. I was like, I'm gonna give him one of my stand-in fake clone dog stuffed animals.
That's sweet.
And then I go, I can't do it. I can't get rid of it yet. Hey, they say you recently had an injury.
Yeah.
While skiing.
Yeah.
So how long are you gonna milk this thing?
Well, I mean, it was a pretty bad injury.
When was it?
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, why are you skiing so late into the season?
I mean, it's Mammoth.
I know.
Season goes on forever. And it had actually dumped 10 inches the night before. It was a great powder day. I raced in the morning in a boarding for breast cancer race. I was the only skier in my division, so I won.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Then the top popped, so I went up to the top. Had 4 great runs off the top. And then 5th run, missed a turn on a tough run, tumbled down the mountain, broke my right knee and a couple bones in my back. Before coming to a rest on the mountain. I had knee surgery that night.
In Mammoth?
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, they've got good orthopedic surgeons there because it happens all the time. I was laid up for 2 months, like not moving, and then slowly rehabbing back. So,
you buying your pass for this year?
It's already bought. Opening day is November 15th.
Are you good?
I'll ski. There's no question.
Will you dial it back?
Whatever my knee lets me do.
All right.
Yeah.
But you don't want to put knees and backs are things that you kind of want to, take care of on some
I'm not worried. The back healed up real nice.
I'm going to get into this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I ride, I snowboard, I cross country as well. But I had to move to Tahoe over Mammoth because this is going to get me in trouble. The people in Mammoth, a bit much.
In what way?
I don't know.
Too grungy for you? Yep. So that's why I love Mammoth. But, the mountain's great. The season is long. It's far enough away from LA that it doesn't get super busy, except maybe on the weekends. And it's easy. For me, it's a 5-hour drive.
Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't talk about this. You're glutton to die. Do you have your pilot's license or you're getting it?
Getting my pilot's license.
Why? You love it?
Flying is very exciting.
Scary.
But the main mission is to get to Mammoth faster.
Are you going to buy like a little Cessna?
I'm looking at a Cirrus.
So
you need a turbo to be able to take off and land in the summer in Mammoth just because of the elevation and heat.
Landing in elevation is tricky from what I know.
Yeah.
In the Truckee airport, I know a few people that have had some mishaps and
yeah, the air density is a lot less, so the performance of your plane is reduced.
One time I had a pilot tell me, he's like, well, just fly into Reno then, man, if you're worried about it. And I go, yeah, but I don't want to drive an extra hour.
Woo,
and he's like,
but you don't want to die.
Right, but if I die, it's kind of like, all right, well.
I see what you're saying. No.
But if I don't die, then I have to drive an hour and I'm mad.
you'd be happier that you're alive.
You get my point.
I do.
Listen, you're becoming a pilot just so your commute is shorter.
That's correct. There's a airport in Bishop, which is about 40 minutes away. So that's the option if you can't land at Mammoth. But what a pain in the ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Adam, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Had a great time.
And I hope one day you can fly me up to Tahoe. We'll go
Sure,
over
sure, we'll
Mammoth
go to
and we'll be like,
Tahoe.
hey, look at those folk.
Yeah, we'll ride together in Tahoe. That'll be fine.
Done.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Tosh Show. Hey, I want to thank Adam for being on the show. Carl, he says you're in tip-top shape. And I believe him. Now, if he said, hey, we could get Carl in tip-top shape, but it's going to cost $5,000, I would be like, ugh. I think it's time we have a serious talk. I'm kidding, Carl. I couldn't put a price tag on what I would spend to keep you healthy. I mean, I could. It's about $5,000. Now that pig, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do if he starts tipping the scales upwards of 50 pounds and it keeps climbing. Currently, under 8 pounds. We'll see what happens. But thanks, Adam, for being on the show. That was very nice. We got some plugs. Boyswearpink.com. Pick yourself up some toddler gear for the holidays. toshshowstore.com. Carl, guess what? Our merch for Tosh Show, the #1 seller, Carl t-shirt. Okay? And that money, it goes right into your pocket. Now, we're going to be adding new stuff to that real soon. I'd like to get a trucker cap, maybe a beanie. Eddie's tour, go to his website, go to our website for my tour dates. Got some Vegas new dates coming up. Going to head to the East Coast. Oh, going to be on the East Coast. Going to do the Midwest as well in 2025. Now, it's time for the free plug. Go ahead. I like that. Yeah, you're indifferent. Okay. The free plug music. Wrap it up. All right. Wrap it up. Free plug music. You're still going. The most expensive thing about the free plug? Free plug music. We got to get our money's worth. They're just going to let it keep jamming. Do you like music, Carl? All right. Today's free plug. This Friday, November 15th, if you're anywhere between Madison and Milwaukee and you want to enjoy the best catch on Lake Koshkonong, come to the Wisconsin Friday Fish Fry at Koshkonong Mounds Country Club. Man, I love a fish fry. What kind of fish is in Koshkonong?
Walleye?
You think they got a freshwater salmon? Probably trout. They definitely got trout. That sounds good. Well, anyway, the clubhouse bar opens at 11 a.m. Dinner is served from 4 to 9 p.m. Reservations are recommended, but not mandatory. Okay? Full menu will be available. That's good. Some people don't like fish. And they're going to want, hey, I like your T-bone. You think they have a T-bone there on the menu?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got a T-bone. I used to want people to call me T-Bone.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's what we're calling you.
Oh, you guys got to start calling me T-Bone.
T-bone.
Sure thing, T-Bone.
Hey, all right, let me get back to this plug. Also, you'll be pleased to know that the Lake View upgrade project has already taken down the wooden fence behind the wedding lawn, along with many dead trees. So the view is even better now. Wow. That's the Wisconsin Friday Fish Fry on Lake Koshkonong. See you next week, guys. Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.